Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Cowboys granted Jadeveon Clowney the one wish he's waited years for. After the Dallas Cowboys got a walk-off win in overtime against the New York Giants, Jerry Jones announced the team had signed veteran and former number 1 overall pick Jadeveon Clowney. There are not many other things that can provide better regular season catharsis than a nice win and a big free agent signing back-to-back. Clowney is unofficially the Cowboys' response move to trading away pass rusher Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers, as they've struggled defensively in the first 2 games, especially up front. But Clowney isn't just focused on helping fill the void left behind by Micah Parsons, he wants to play under the lights and on national TV. The Athletic's John Machota transcribed Clowney's full answer. Jadeveon Clowney wanted to play with Cowboys to play in primetime games. I got 7 primetime games to prove and show the world. That was my whole thought on coming down here. I get to play primetime and put myself out there again. Sky is the limit again for me. I don't feel like I'm getting old. Terrence Crawford just beat somebody at 37 years old. I got a lot left in the tank. After playing under the lights in the very first game of the regular season, the Cowboys still have 5 additional primetime matchups this season. On top of that, they play in the national spotlight on Thanksgiving as well as in the noon slot on Christmas Day, a Netflix production. That makes it 7 more times that Clowney is going to be able to play in the spotlight with the Dallas Cowboys, who are always in the NFL spotlight it seems. It may seem like a silly thing for Clowney to say, but think about the fact that a former number 1 overall pick of his caliber is still sitting in NFL free agency here in the middle of September. Clowney has been a productive player over the course of his career, even if he hasn't lived up to the number 1 overall pick draft status. He's played the last 6 years with the Panthers, Ravens, Browns, Titans, and Seahawks. With all due respect to those teams, it's not like the NFL is trying all that hard to get those teams maximum exposure every single year. The Ravens might be a slight exception, but Baltimore's national exposure pales in comparison to what the league typically does to get the Cowboys in front of the biggest audience possible. And while teams can still scout players without a national spotlight, this is going to give Clowney the best possible chance to maximize his value. Cowboys make veteran signing after Cooper Beebe injury. The Cowboys came out of Week 2 with a fun, if exhausting, overtime win at home against the Giants, 40-37, in overtime, but also came out with some injury concerns, none so big as the ankle injury suffered by second-year center Cooper Beebe, who figures to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. Cowboys Vice President Stephen Jones said this week that the hope is the Beebe will be on the shorter end of that timeline, which means he could be back before the end of October. Cowboys backup Brock Hoffman will step into the void and replace Beebe, as he did in Week 2. Hoffman has been with the Cowboys since 2022, and started 7 games last year. But the Cowboys need depth along the line now, and tried to address that on Tuesday by signing veteran offensive lineman Wesley French and moving him to the practice squad. ESPN's Todd Archer noted on Twitter, X, that the Cowboys are adding Wesley French to the practice squad after a workout Tuesday. He spent time with offensive coordinator Clayton Adams in Indy. Needed depth with Cooper Beebe injury. Adams was the line coach with the Colts, where French was for the past 3 seasons after joining the team as an undrafted free agent out of Western Michigan. He was cut by the Colts late last month ahead of the 53-man roster deadline. French played 17 games and made 3 starts for Indianapolis in 2023, playing 24% of the team's offensive snaps that year. While the Cowboys have been hoping to get as much playing time for their young offensive linemen, Beebe and tackle Tyler Guyton are second-year players and guard Tyler Booker is a rookie, that experiment has been shaky, at best. Beebe rates only a grade of 53.9 at Pro Football Focus, 30th out of 33 centers in the NFL, while Guyton is at 36.5, 65th out of 68, and Booker is at 53.0, 49 out of 69 guards. Perhaps getting Hoffman back in the mix might do well to add some veteran experience to the line. Coach Brian Schottenheimer expressed confidence in Hoffman in the wake of BB's injury, especially in his vocal leadership. At practice, he does it. On game day, from the sideline, he does it. So when he's out there, it's just maybe more noticeable for everybody else, Schottenheimer said. But the intensity the guy plays with, the trash that he talks is kind of fun and cool. He gets underneath the defenders, gets in their heads a little bit, but yeah, his play style, he's wired the right way, man. Cowboys predicted to trade for $30 million All-Pro edge rusher to replace Micah Parsons. The Dallas Cowboys just bid farewell to their All-Pro edge rusher Micah Parsons, but could they replace him with another elite defensive end? That's the hypothetical situation suggested by Marcus Mosher of the Locked On Cowboys podcast. The deal would allow Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office to retain all the pieces from the Parsons trade while also acquiring the NFL sack leader last season. Here's the hypothetical deal Mosher suggested. Cowboys receive Trey Hendrickson. Bengals receive second-round pick, 2026. A trade like this would likely also be attached to a long-term extension for Hendrickson. The All-Pro edge rusher held out of training camp before getting a $14 million raise for this season, bringing his number to $30 million in the final year of his deal. If you're the Cowboys, could you make the argument he's not Micah Parsons but he's $15 million cheaper? He's had more sacks over the last couple of years, Mosher said. We don't have to pay him as much and keep those first-round picks. Dallas clearly believes it needs help on the edges defensively after signing veteran Jadeveon Clowney to a one-year, $4 million deal this week. A trade for an edge rusher who had 17.5 sacks last season while retaining Kenny Clark and the 2 first-rounders acquired in the Parsons deal would be an optimal situation for the Cowboys. And with Joe Burrow potentially out for the season, it could make sense for the Bengals too. But with Jerry Jones' hesitancy to sign Parsons to a long-term extension, would he feel differently about Hendrickson? If he wants to spread the money across the roster, this deal could fall through. It's a trade that's totally possible, but it's more likely to remain a hypothetical. What do you think? Like, comment and subscribe to the channel.